guys, welcome back to another edition of the Weekly Roundup. I'm Mike.
I'm Erin.
And sitting over here with us is our good friend and neighbor, Gary. You can talk. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Gary, you've seen on quite a few episodes. I was going to put together a little highlight reel, like a Gary highlight reel, but I didn't get a chance to do it. But I'm trying to think of what all episodes that you've been in. You came out and helped us get that cow
Right.
that was stuck in the pond.
And then I think probably branding a couple times.
Probably in branding a couple times, yeah. And then we had
The Baylor tire.
the Baylor tire.
Baylor
We were
tire,
trying to do
right?
that.
Yeah.
And then we took the gator down to your shop
Right.
and dug into it down there. So, I mean, Gary's kind of popped in and out here, but more than anything, I mean, Gary has kind of become that symbol of a neighbor out here, and everybody always says, the hashtag everybody needs a Gary, because you all, when we first came here, I don't remember when we first met, but I remember Gilbert, we needed something. I think we needed a backhoe.
Yeah, that was that frozen auto gate up there.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember Gilbert saying, well, there's a guy down the road, he has a backhoe, go down and talk to him. And I said, what's his name? Oh, I don't know. He just lives right down the road. Go talk to him and see what he can do for us. And I think we couldn't even couldn't even move that thing.
We put your loader tractor on it and my backhoe and still couldn't get it up.
And that was,
Froze.
God, that was like 10 years, that was probably 9 or 10 years ago.
The cattle guard by the hay yard?
Yeah, by the hay,
Yeah.
the stackyard down there. Yeah.
Frozen.
It was, I can't remember what happened to it. I think cows were walking through it.
They were walking through it, getting on the road, and so you needed to do something with it. So then we ended up getting Lauren Crane out here with a hydrovac.
That's right. And then they
the snow out.
they sucked all the snow and dirt out of everything. And that's that was the first time I ever worked with Gary. And then you were gone for a while.
Yeah.
Who was that guy? I don't know. Some guy who lives down the road. But that was one weird thing that I thought about as I was out there working on the AeroQuip and putting that AeroQuip corral system into our corrals, was that when I rebuilt those corrals, and that was 7 years ago, that you came up and gave me a hand with that, because you did, after I had the old corrals tore out, you came up and did a bunch of leveling with your tractor.
Yep.
And that was probably the first time that we ever actually worked together.
I think so.
And we cut out some trees. Remember there was a couple trees over there?
Cottonwoods.
And I remember Gary's going through, and I think you had like a blade or a box blade or something on the back of the tractor, and you were cleaning that area out, and you hit that stump. Remember that?
I do.
And it about threw you out of that tractor, because you had a goofy tractor with no cab, but it was basically just like our tractors, but it had no cab.
Right.
Oh, was that the fire tractor?
That was the one that got ran over or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 6310 John Deere, but the cab was gone because they had it out at the mine, and a dozer guy was on drugs and came out of the spoil and drove over the top of this tractor.
Oh my gosh.
So they had to change the cab off, took the cab off of it.
Now, Gary, you're not originally from Gillette, correct?
No, right.
You're from South Dakota.
Eastern South Dakota, grew up on a farm over there.
And then you moved to Gillette in what year?
81.
In 81. We're going to get to some of the early 80s stories about Gillette that Gary had the pleasure of being a part of. We also tonight, we are going to open a nice little box that we got from YouTube. Nobody's quite sure everybody knows what's in it. But I'm playing dumb because I want to be surprised when I open
We
it.
literally already opened it.
See, why you gotta burst the bubble?
I'm just honest.
You're more honest than I am, I guess. You just burst the bubble. You just ruin the illusion. I don't know. I'm trying to fix the sound here just for a second, but now never mind. If anybody has any trouble hearing Erin, that's because we're actually short one microphone. So Erin and I are sharing microphones, so it's probably getting me really well, and then not her so much.
It's static.
Static? Lots of static? Probably. Little static. Well.
It's all subjective.
It just depends on how much static you like and what you can put up with. Gary, up here in front of us is this is the chat that's rolling by as people are watching. They're talking. Langstrat Farms they're in Brookings, South Dakota.
Okay, sure.
You know where that is?
Yeah.
What town were you from?
We lived west of Yankton.
West of Yankton.
Yep.
I don't know where that is either. Erin and I were talking
Southeastern part.
I don't think I've ever been past Rapid City in South Dakota.
I mean, you have, but not to Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we had some visitors stop by and we were talking about the Corn Palace and Wall Drug and.
I've never been to Wall Drug.
No, we need to make a trip.
To Wall Drug.
And then to the Corn Palace.
I guess I've never been that far on I-90. Because I've been farther east than that, but I've just never been on I-90 that far. You got stuck on I-90 right after Sturgis, didn't you? Heading to Mitchell or something?
Yes, last time going through there, yeah, it was really busy through there. It's crazy.
The day after Sturgis, and you can't get through there. So we have frost coming up. Is it supposed to freeze this weekend?
Monday.
On Monday.
It was Sunday, now it's Monday.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Jerry Weld.
JB Weld down when they throw up what's called a super chat, they can toss some money behind their chat, and that makes it show up nice and big on our screen. And that's from JB Weld, who is over by Seattle, and he said, "Hey Gary, Erin was almost from Edgerton." In case you didn't know, Erin will tell anybody. We drive through.
Not me, no, my mom.
Yeah.
Every time we go to Casper and drive through Edgerton, my mom's like, you were almost born here because your dad almost took a job here.
And then we had a gal that came, and I don't know if she's here tonight, but she's from there.
From there.
And she comes to the live streams occasionally, so every time she says something, Erin's like, "Oh, I was almost from there." So that's
I've heard that story my whole life. Like, do you tell your kids stories like that? Like, you say the same. And like, I think I was in like my 20s the last time. I was like, "Mom, I got it. Like, I know. Like, I heard the story."
It's funny how I still, like, my mom still thinks I'm like, 8. So she's like, "Do you still like Twizzlers? I'll send you some Twizzlers." And I'm like, I can buy my own Twizzlers now, so I don't really need or Twix or whatever it is. Yeah, so it's crazy. Mackenzie asked how the farm store is going. That's a question Gary asked earlier when we were sitting down there downstairs.
This week has been really busy, so it's been good.
Yeah.
I've had to pick more vegetables every single day. So
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Good problem to have. And tomorrow we need to restock some meat.
Lots of meat went out the door
Sold
today.
a lot of hamburger today.
Nice.
So,
That's always good.
It's been really good. I need more eggs. I need my chickens to start laying eggs. We got one of the spring chickens is laying little tiny eggs, but just one of them. I need the other like 45
to kick into gear.
kick into gear.
And the big ones, they're still laying eggs, of course.
Yeah, I'm getting like 7 eggs a day. I think some of them are starting to molt. Yeah, and I need the new chickens to get with it.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. Back to you. I'm just going to switch back and forth. I'll talk to Erin. I'll talk to you. But in our life around here, how long ago? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago was your heart attack?
It'll be a month tomorrow.
It'll be a month tomorrow. It was the weekend after Ranch Roundup.
Yep.
So we brought a whole bunch of people up to meet you. They all got to hang out with you. You actually during Ranch Roundup, weren't you? You were driving a tractor.
Yeah, I drove the tractor in the hayrack. Yeah.
In the hayride.
Right.
So a lot of people got to know you, and then I think a week after that, and maybe it was the following week, I mentioned that you had a heart attack, and all these people were like, "Oh, we just met him." It's like it's crazy. So we invited people to send you cards and things like that. But before we get to that, the having a heart attack obviously probably scares the crap out of you more than anything. But you didn't have like a major
no,
like,
it was
thunderclap heart attack or anything.
Right. It was just a kind of an uncomfortable feeling in my chest that radiated down my left side a little bit, but nothing like I thought I was going to have a heart attack. It just wasn't there. And then by 5 I went to sleep, and then I got up at 2, and it was a little pain there yet, but nothing bad. And then at 5 o'clock it wasn't any pain at all. And at that point, I said, well, maybe I just better go in and check it out. So I went in, and they gave me an 8 kg right away, and they said they were running around there pretty fast, and I think something was wrong. Gave me a blood test, and they said, well, you already had a heart attack. So
past tense.
Yep. So we advise you to go in and do a angiogram, and if we need to put some stents in, we put some stents in. So.
Isn't it funny? You can tell how serious it is by how quickly you move.
Yeah.
We took Grayson one time and she had RSV, or not RSV, she had croup. And so she was really wheezy. If you've ever had a kid with croup, like it's super easy to tell they cough and they sound like a seal, but she was really like, you could hear her breathing. It was really labored and her chest was retracting really bad. But I think they took about one look at her in the waiting room of the ER and they're like, we go back to like the fancy room in the ER.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really quick. We took her in another time and she wasn't as bad, and it was a much more like calm situation.
Well, you told me that it felt like indigestion.
Yeah, I didn't have the sweating or I wasn't nauseated at all. You know, a lot of different symptoms I didn't have.
Did you think, like, in that morning when you woke up, like, did you think you had a heart attack?
No,
or just-
I felt fine.
But
yeah.
you were smart enough to go to the doctor.
Well, I just thought, you know, my wife tells me you need to go, you know, if you feel anything coming on, and so I did. And I was glad I did.
Yeah. Thank you, Susan.
One thing that always amazed me about Gary, and I think we probably told him this 100 times, is the first time Gary told me how old he was, I thought you were messing with me. Honestly, I was like, "There's no way." You're turning 70 in December.
December, yeah.
And this guy still goes like 900 miles an hour. So
I think you work harder than we do.
I'm sure you do.
Oh no, I've watched you guys.
So was that a factor in saying, okay, I feel fine this morning, but I'm still going to go in? Were you like, you know?
Yeah,
you just never know.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they put in 2 stents.
2 stents.
And then you were out of the hospital like the next day.
Right. Yeah, I had to stay overnight and make sure everything was good. I had an echocardiogram in the morning, and that's right after that they sent me home.
Right.
Yep.
And I think that following Monday or Tuesday, you called me and you said, "Hey, I need staples. I'm building a fence." I was like, "What?" He said, "I'm out of staples." So you came and borrowed a bucket of staples that next. It was like Monday or Tuesday the next week, I think.
It was Tuesday because it was Labor Day weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, you
Yep.
took Labor Day off.
Took Labor Day off.
Yeah.
Had a heart attack, forced him to take Labor Day off. So, what's going on? I don't know why my phone's still on. So what's going on now post heart attack? How does that whole thing work?
As far as
Well, what do you have to do? You have therapy.
yeah, I've got therapy 3 times a week, and you know they put you on different treadmill and some weights and I don't know, there's probably 5 different machines. Mm-hmm. And so you'll spend you know, I first started out with 7 minutes, and then now I worked my way up to 10 minutes per machine. Mm-hmm. So you're there about an hour and 15 minutes.
And you have to do that for how long?
Probably 3 months.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you just gonna keep it up after the 3 months? I mean, you can't really stop. Obviously.
No, it's just kind of, you know, it's really it's really a good therapy because it shows you how to go ahead and live your life from now on. You know,
That makes sense. I had to laugh when your wife texted me, I think that morning when you went to the hospital, and she said, "Hey,"
I think it was
I don't-
later that night.
or maybe it was later in the afternoon or something, and she said, "You know, I don't want to scare you or anything, but Gary had a heart attack. He's in ICU tonight. He's fine." And I think I don't remember what. I have to go back and look, but the very next message was the doctor told me and hasn't told him yet but he's going to be on a plant-based diet the rest of his life.
right.
And both Erin and I went, "Well, that's great." I think actually the next thing I asked Susan was, "Is Scotch plant-based?"
Yeah.
And she said, "I'm pretty sure it is." But Matt asked if you are following doctor's orders and avoiding meat. Have you managed to do that?
Not quite
I'm sure
there
your
yet.
doctor's not watching. Dr. Dixon is here, and
He says your condition's very serious. So.
yeah. I mean, any heart attack is serious. I mean,
Right.
there's really no way around it, but
Yeah.
he's the only one that'll yell at you for eating a hamburger.
Well,
Around
sure.
here anyway, at least in Wyoming. So, but yeah, we mentioned in a live stream that you had a heart attack, and we said, well, why don't you send them some cards? So we actually, I think there's like 30 or so cards here for you.
Oh, perfect.
So you get to go through those. I already opened them. There's no cash,
Okay.
but if there was, there
Thanks,
isn't
Mike.
anymore. But feel free to take a look at them, and you know, I'm sure there's all kinds of good wishes and stuff like that.
Okay.
It always surprises me that even people that have small portions, you know, small little pieces in our life, you know, will get people that, you know, ask how they're doing. You know, how's Nick doing, or how's Stephanie doing? And I always have to. I'm like, Stephanie who? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah.
Our friends in real life.
Well, exactly, in real life, and that's what's weird is we have friends in real life that don't watch the channel, that don't, you know, I know that Nick and Stephanie, they don't watch because if they watch, they have nothing to talk to us about. Is that how you and Susan watch? the channel at all on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Do you really?
Sure.
I never knew.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I did because you called me after
Yeah.
I put in that the arrow clip shoot. You called me and
Right.
said, "Hey, you got it in there."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I called Gary about halfway through that project. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like this is a little goofy. And yeah, Gary said, "Hey, you got it in there." So it seemed to work. So.
My mom also wanted to, we talked about my mom last week, she had a knee replacement done. She wanted me to tell everyone thank you for the well wishes. She's doing really actually pretty good. So she's also in physical therapy 3 days a week.
That's always fun.
And I have to drive her. Can you drive yourself?
Yes.
Thankfully.
But yeah, she's doing good and getting to be a little bit more mobile and
She's still using the walker, isn't she?
yeah, she's done with the walker next week and yeah, she did her dishes today and started some laundry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's
Wow, good.
she says I do a little and then I get tired, but she's kind of back up and functioning a little bit better. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good though.
She's doing good.
Oh, Susan is watching. Your wife is watching you.
Uh-oh.
So make sure that Susan
Yeah.
Yerke right there. That's Gary's wife with the sunglasses on, and she's keeping track of it. She's always keeping track of what we're doing anyway. I don't know how many times I've been down in the shop and Susan comes in and it's like, okay, well now we got to look like we're doing something.
Yeah, that's right.
But see, somebody said, yeah, there's no way Gary looks older than 60, and yeah, definitely. I never would have figured that out. I hope I look as good as you do when I'm, 90. All right. Welcome to the live stream, Susan. Thank you, Bill. Did you open anything? Open one. Let's
Okay.
just pick somebody's name and let's open
Alrighty.
it up.
Okay, here we got, first one here is from Terry Frank.
We don't have to go through all of them. Trust me, we'll be here. all
Yeah. Thinking of you, and a little sending some smiles your way.
Well, that's so sweet.
Yeah. Great,
big fat check.
great. Thank you.
I'm sure,
Thank everybody that sent me these cards. It means a lot. Here's
See, now
another.
when you die, Mike, somebody will send cards.
Maybe. Be like, yeah.
Okay, that Radke.
Oh, this is Gene Radke. Gene
Gene.
was here for the live stream. You might have met him, an older gentleman, really friendly, really nice guy from Arizona.
He was
Okay.
he was here for Ranch Roundup.
Yeah, is that what I said?
You said live stream.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there wasn't a live stream, but yeah, Ranch Roundup. Yeah, Gene, really nice guy. He was here with his daughter, I think, up here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, get well wishes, and just wanted to let you know how much we missed you while you're sick. So get better quick.
See, they want to put you to work.
Yeah.
They're like, gotta be something you can help with around here. This live stream is making me an alcoholic. I'm on my second. Hey, I'm not enabling anybody. No peer pressure here at all.
Just pace yourself.
Yeah, Gary's not very good at pacing himself. So. Somebody said, Gary, just eat grass-fed beef. That's considered plant-based, isn't it? Well, all beef really eats plants. I mean, we don't have any carnivorous cows anymore. They got rid of those back in the 50s. But yeah, anything's plant-based if you think about it,
Yeah.
really. So why not?
Sure.
I'd be down with that. Did you pick out another one?
I did.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't think you opened this one. Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Keith and somebody.
I can't imagine
Keith and Marie Weber.
switching to a plant-based diet. I don't think I could do it.
What's your favorite plant-based food?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
That's such a hard decision.
Such a hard decision.
What's your favorite vegetable? What's your favorite vegetable, Mike? Broccoli.
Broccoli, probably. Actually, I like Brussels sprouts too, but I only like them the way that you make them.
I just roast them. It's
Yeah.
not fancy.
But you don't steam them or whatever. So.
Okay, here you guys go. There's
Oh,
a
somebody
picture.
took a picture.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I remember these guys.
Yeah, I remember them now, too.
No, wrong camera. Hold on.
You look smart.
I do. It's hard being your own producer in this whole thing.
Susan
Perfect.
says we're eating Erin's veggies. Yes, come get veggies.
What's Gary's take on kale? Do you like kale?
Not really.
No, no. Somebody, I think it was actually JB Weld, sent me a message through Facebook, and there was a company that's making kale candy canes.
Oh, really?
It's like the new Cole in your stocking type of thing. Here's a kale candy. I kind of want to order one just to try one. Just see how horrible
See what
they
it's
are.
like, huh?
I don't think it was a fake thing. It was a company in Seattle.
I
And
still don't believe it's real.
I'm going to try to get some. Maybe I'll probably end up having to pay for them, but that's fine. My favorite veggie is ketchup.
Ketchup's gross.
Is mustard considered a vegetable?
It's made from a seed.
It's a seed, which grows into a vegetable, so.
I mean, everything essentially comes from a vegetable or is dependent upon some sort of plant matter.
You would think.
Cows survive on plant matter.
Right.
So
So
even
unless you're
the-
eating a carnivore.
We don't eat any carnivores. I don't eat.
People do. People eat bear.
True. I mean, but they're omnivores.
Oh, okay.
So you're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
am
I guess if you ate a wolf,
That might be fun too. Ketchup is a fruit.
ketchup's disgusting.
Somebody call you. What is your favorite fruit then?
Tomatoes.
Oh, well, you're just weird. You're just weird.
I love tomatoes, but I hate ketchup. I don't hate it. I mean, I just, I could go the rest of my life without ketchup.
You know what I hate is when people put ketchup on a steak. You ever met those
Oh, yeah.
people? That put
Yeah.
ketchup on steak, and it's like, what are you doing? Why would you do that?
Gilbert did that.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Say, yeah, why would
Gilbert
you?
put ketchup on everything.
Really?
Ketchup
Gilbert had
itself.
diabetes though, and I don't think he could taste anything unless it was like covered in salt or or ketchup. Like then he could taste something. But you remember? I don't know if you remember, but like Gilbert would go around with a big old wad of chew all the time, and I think that
And it was
probably.
all over
Oh
his
yeah,
shirt.
and I think that like killed his taste buds
Yeah.
too, probably more than anything. But yeah, I can't. That was disgusting. But putting ketchup on everything was just as bad. I was
Mike
just like,
Wilder said I had a boss that put ketchup on prime rib.
oh my gosh. Speaking of Mike Wilder, I wanted to thank Mike personally here in the live stream because that's just about as personal as I can get with him. He sent us some ideas for some t-shirts, which you can now buy on the website. They are Jackalope Believe t-shirts. They're actually pretty cool. There's one that's for is a little bit more cutesy with like a cute kind of cartoon jackalope on it. The other one has more of a John Deere jumping jackalope type thing, and it says Believe below it. He sent us the kind of a mock-up and said, "Hey, what can you guys do with this?" And we put it together and got it on the website. And
Really hard to get him to pose appropriately, but
yeah, you got to kind of bend him. And why couldn't they make one? They should make taxidermy stuff that has like bendy stuff. Bendy
Yeah.
so you could like
Barbie.
yeah, so you can like pose them like GI Joes and stuff.
Right.
That'd be fun. I would go for that.
Or we still has fleas.
I sprayed it with Lysol today, so it's probably good. It's probably good. But yeah, if you have any ideas for t-shirts or anything like that, you can always send them to us. And I think Mike sent them to us and just said, "Hey, what can you do with this?" And
He's
and
fuzzy.
and is he fuzzy? He's shedding. We put it up on the website, and I think I actually sent him an email back, and I said it's done, and he's like, "Oh my God, really?" And I said,
And they're like-
and I noticed he hasn't went and bought one yet. So Mike, I mean, they're your t-shirts. So I think I've got one on the way though, so I'll be able to show it off here eventually.
All right.
So, I wanted to talk about, since we have Gary here, Gary's had some interesting things happen in his life. And if you go back and watch some of our history videos, we had a history video that was about the city of Gillette. And in that video, we talked very, very briefly about an incident that happened in 81, 82,
May 81.
81, where a guy stole a bulldozer, like a D8 cat or something.
D9.
D9 cat, and went on a rampage through town. Now that was like the weekend you moved here or some goofy thing,
It
wasn't it?
was the second day we moved here.
Okay.
Yeah. We got an apartment in Gillette, which was hard to, at that time, to even get one. Well,
Really?
we
What
did.
was going on in Gillette at the time? So people.
It was a big oil boom at that time. Yeah. And
So you
and
came here and worked the oil field?
I started out in the oil field.
Okay.
Yep. And oil field was going good, and there were several mines starting, so Gillette was really rocking at that point. And we were watching television, and my nephew was out here. We were both looking for work, and I was watching television, so I fell asleep on the couch like I usually do, and he went to bed. He went to his room, and I fell asleep on the couch, and next thing I know, the building's rocking, and I look out the window, and there's a D9 dozer running across the lawn right in front of me. I could have reached out and touched it. It was that close to the building. And he drove over top of about a '68 Buick, and hooked up with a ripper on it and drug that up the street, and there was cops running around after him with shotguns, and they didn't know really how to stop him, and so they had called the mine out there where the dozer came from, and
So he drove the dozer from a mine all the way to town?
no, the mine had donated a dozer and a scraper to do some work down there behind that'd be the old Ramada Inn.
Okay.
There was a drainage through there. And so that was sitting down there, and apparently he got in there and knew how to start it and took off with it and drove over around 18 cars and pickups and up in that Indian Hills area. And
He made it to downtown too, didn't he?
well, he started out down there by the Ramada and then came up the street there and then drove over all these cars, and there was people at that time sleeping in their cars, which he was, everybody was lucky that he didn't kill
Nobody
him.
got
kill him,
hurt,
but nobody
right?
got hurt.
Yeah.
No, there was like millions of dollars worth of damage.
Oh, yeah.
He hit buildings and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he drove over, like I said, 18 cars and ripped up, different lines. He put his ripper down and tore up a bunch of lines and stuff. And we had 2 pickups out there and a camper, and he didn't touch any of them in front of our building. But he took the corner of the building off of our apartment, which sheared the headboard off of my bed, which was
Also, good thing you were sleeping on the couch.
yeah, I was sleeping on the couch, yeah. And then there was a couple that were just above my bedroom who they were moving out, and they would have had like a 3-month baby in that corner, but they had left him at Grandma's house that night.
Oh, wow.
So the 5-year-old was sleeping in there, didn't have the beds there. They was sleeping on the floor when that dozer blade come through there. And the father reached in and grabbed that kid about the time. Otherwise, he would have ended up down in my bedroom.
Oh, wow.
So, like I said, there was a lot of...
So the apartment that you were in where he came to arrest was kind of like a half basement kind of apartment, like a split level kind of deal?
Yeah.
Because he drove
Yeah.
down into that and then he couldn't
Well,
get
he
out.
took the corner off. He hit about a 48 Jeep, and it veered him off. So he just took the corner off of ours and sheared my headboard off, and then ended up in the next apartment.
And that's where he got stuck.
Right.
And then...
He was not on the machine. He bailed off up the street.
Oh, so he wasn't even there?
No.
No, the machine was just going and doing
Yeah,
its
he
thing.
just
Okay.
opened the throttle up and jumped out.
Can you do that with a modern one? I thought it probably wouldn't run if you're not in the seat anymore, you wouldn't think.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some
Yeah, I
different...
know if I
stuff.
fall out of the John Deere, I don't think it keeps going.
Yeah.
Maybe it does.
It does keep going.
Yeah.
Does
It's
it?
not a lawnmower.
Well, it should be. It's not a good thing.
But anyway, nobody got hurt.
That's one of those
Nobody got
stories I
killed.
grew up hearing too, because my parents came in '79 or something for oil boom. My
Sure.
dad worked on drilling rigs, and so that was a story that I grew up as a child growing up in Gillette. Like I heard that story all the time about the how Gillette was really rough in the late '70s, early '80s. Like it was a boom town. I mean, it's still a boom town, but we've got drainage ditches and things are a little nicer now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, flowing
Right.
water, and, yeah.
It's funny to look at even when my parents moved in '79 or whatever year it was, they a lot of Gillette was really small, and so a lot of the roads, like Lakeway, which is one of our main roads now, was still a dirt road.
Sure.
Gillette was really tiny, and then got this huge oil boom, and it took a long time for Gillette to be able to handle.
Yeah, kind of catch up emotionally with the whole thing. We were like a 12-year-old,
Right.
not quite sure what to do and how to handle it.
Yeah.
Of course, I wasn't here, so what am I talking
No,
about?
you
But
weren't here.
actually, I did come through Gillette when I was in, I think, like 8th grade or something, because we went to Rushmore.
Okay.
So I remember coming through Gillette, but I don't remember anything about it other than probably stopping at Flying J and getting gas or something. But that was probably it. J.B. Weld, Gillette Gone Wild, a history series from Mike. Actually, we are getting ready to start up some history stuff here again as we move back into winter, so that might be an option. Gillette Gone Wild.
There's a whole thing, and it's called Gillette syndrome, and it's they've named it after Gillette, Wyoming, but it's what happens to boom towns, and just how that affects a town.
Yeah, when a town, because I think Do you remember what the population of Gillette was before, the booms hit in the 70s? It was probably 3,000 or 4,000 people.
Yeah, it was, I don't exactly remember, but yeah, it was very, very few people here when they first started.
And there was, the ratio of like men to women was very disproportionate.
Oh, yeah. I can
Yeah.
imagine. I could imagine.
Yeah, there is a whole thing, you could just Google it.
Yeah, if you Google Gillette syndrome, it actually pops right up. Do you want to open our box? Do you want to do that?
Yeah, we can open it.
Okay, let's do that. Let's have a little impromptu mail call, and we'll knock that out. So, YouTube, very
Finally
rarely,
acknowledge that we exist.
yeah, very rarely sends us mail. YouTube doesn't send us cards. We don't get anything from YouTube.
We get some tax documents.
We do get like what is that, a W-9 or whatever that is. We get that, and then they yell at me occasionally. But other than that, this is the first real anything we've ever gotten from YouTube in our entire life. I did when we were in LA. I got a chance to sit in at a whatever, what do you want to call it, conference or whatever, session with the vice president of something in YouTube, but that's about as close as I ever got to.
I mean, with like 500 other people.
Exactly, yeah. So that was about as close as I ever got to anybody that had anything to do with YouTube. So we got this nice little box, and that's pretty much it. You just hang it on the wall, and we'll just put it right up here. I was telling Gary the story behind our wooden play button, which was actually made for us by Andy Miller. See, I'm on the wrong camera. Andy Miller made this for us. He has a channel called Boatworks Today, and he does a little bit of wood burning on the side. And we were talking about, you don't get anything until, and I think when we hit 10,000 or maybe it was 50,000, I can't remember. He made us our wooden play button, which has been on display up here on the shelf for the past
I think I
year
put it
or
on
so.
like Facebook or something and Instagram, and like some people thought that this was a real thing that YouTube sent us, but no, just our friend made it. But it's, I mean, my caption in hindsight was like, oh, that is a little like.
People are like, oh, they sent you that?
But yeah, so we got this. Now we've got. Thank you, Susan, for the super chat.
Yeah, somebody said, what did they say up there, Gary? Susan said, oh, it's not your Susan, it's Susan Chambly. I was like, why did Susan give us $25? Like, looking good, Gary. Buy that man a lean steak. Our steaks are pretty lean, so you could probably get away with that.
Good.
You could probably get away with that. All right. So basically, this is what we got from YouTube, and honestly, we didn't really know what to expect. We kind of had to bug them a little bit to actually get us to send us one. And luckily for me, somebody from YouTube did contact me about a different matter, and I said, hey, by the way, do you have anything to do with play buttons? And he was like, no, I have nothing to do with that, but I'll see what I can figure out. And then like the next day I got an email that said it was on the way. So we got a nice little letter from, I can't pronounce her name, Susan.
I don't know how to pronounce her name either.
She's the CEO of YouTube. And the letter says, you've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You've had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, and we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind that 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. They are inspired, challenged, or entertained.
Or they hate us.
Well, that too. But they probably don't subscribe if they hate us as much. Maybe they do. If they want to keep hating us, then they. Somebody told me that they hope that I go into. I read this today. That I go into. This is just fits right into this whole thing. That I get put into a slaughterhouse and held for 3 days with no food, no water, and then get hit in the head with a big ass hammer. And I was like, holy crap! Like that's a little harsh.
How it works.
But number one, yeah, they don't hold you for 3 days, and they don't use hammers. So anyway. You achieve this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor too. It's kind of funny how they fit that in there because yeah, somebody wants to hit me in the head with a hammer. And what you've accomplished can't be taken away from you. We'd like to recognize you and your hard work with this Silver Creator Award, a small token of our esteem and respect. We know that you don't do this for rewards.
Yes, we do.
You do it because you have a drive to create and share, and because you found an audience who cares. Believe us when we say we can't wait to see what you do next. 1 million subscribers may not be that far off, but you're closer than you think, and we're rooting for you. Sincerely, yours, Susan, form letter, CEO, YouTube.
I don't know how to say your name.
I don't know. It's how do you think you pronounce that, Gary?
Ooh, yeah.
A lot of J's in
I'll
there.
pass on that one.
Yeah, that's it. It's WOJCICKI. So, Wojciki? What? I don't know. Somebody probably knows.
There's a YouTube video about it.
So we did end up with our silver play button, and
It's very pretty.
it is very pretty. Here, you can show it off if you'd like, and a little thing of stay dry stuff.
This is it. It came. It's actually a mirror.
Yeah,
You can see.
which you can see.
can
There's
see.
there's a drink.
All of our boxes. There's the computer.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's a mirror, and it says, presented to our Wyoming Life for passing 100,000 subscribers, YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you, YouTube.
So where are you going to put it? Are you going to hang it? Are you going to put it up here?
Yeah,
I mean, it is, and it's really reflective. You can't read it up there. You can't even really tell what it is.
Oh, fine, we'll put it over there. I don't know. We'll
Maybe
put
I
it
could
somewhere.
put a chain around it and just hang it around my neck. No? All right. It is cool though. It's nice to be recognized for something that, 2 years in the works to 2.5 years. And Gary, you've been a part of that too, because you were right there with us. I remember when did I call you when because that was the first episode you were in, was when that cow was in the pond. And
Yeah, I think
did
so.
I call you and say, hey, I could use a hand here? Because that's usually how it goes with you.
Yeah, yep, you called me in.
I'll call and say, hey, what you doing? He's like, well, I'm just taking a bath. What's up? And
We'll just put it there.
yeah, there you go. And you came down and we ended up getting that cow out. But that was your first appearance. So in a way, I mean, everybody who subscribes, who's ever watched anything, who's ever came and helped us pull a cow out of a pond, I mean, that all contributes to this. So I think everybody deserves a big old round of applause, but I'm not going to clap because I'm holding a drink. So I'll have a drink and I'll say cheers.
Thank you to everyone who, has subscribed and joined us on this journey.
This weird, wacky little journey. Speaking of weird and wacky little journeys, we have...
Oh, you have more mail call?
Yeah, I do have more mail call, and that's what I'm getting into, is we have the farm store, which we invite, if you're in the area, if you happen to be traveling through or vacationing or going to Yellowstone, or we've had people that just show up.
And people that are vacationing in Rapid and drove over for the day.
Right, exactly. And it's awesome because we... what happens a lot of times is I'll be out doing something, whether I'm up here editing or I'm out with the cows or whatever I'm doing, and Erin will call and say, hey, there's somebody here without estate plates. They're probably a subscriber. What are you doing?
I can always tell.
Right. They kind of walk slowly up.
They take longer to get out of the car.
Do they?
They usually have out-of-state plates. Sometimes they bring their RV.
Mm-hmm. Cameras?
I mean, we take pictures, but...
Most everybody uses their phones, so they. We did have some people stop by from Wisconsin, from I think it was Hayward, Wisconsin.
Yeah, we had 2 groups this week, but yes.
Yeah. They from Hayward, Wisconsin was Tiny's Diner. The guy that I can't remember his first name now because I'm drawing a
His
blank on
nickname's
it.
Tiny.
Yeah, and he's a tiny guy.
And he was here. He was here earlier. I don't know if he still is, but...
He gave us this really cool. You ever seen one of these, Gary? It's a church key or a bottle cap opener that's made out of a fishing lure.
Oh, no.
He's right up there. Wrong camera. He's right up there. I don't like having 2 cameras. That confuses me. He's right up there by Lake Superior, and that is a fishing lure that obviously is made into a church key and Tiny's Diner. If you're
Church
ever,
key. Never heard it called that.
you never heard it called a church key?
Oh, yeah.
See,
Yep.
Apparently
2
we
old
do
guys
church
over
more
here.
often.
We used to have church occasionally around here. So yeah, he dropped this off, and then he brought us.
I wish that we need cow fishing lures, and then we could make our own.
How do you make a cow fishing lure?
I don't know.
Because
It's got a
it looks like a
cartoon-
fish.
It's got a cartoon duck on this one.
What, does it really? Oh yeah, it is a duck. I thought it was a fish. It is a duck with this little wing. Okay.
It's got a bill.
It does. It has a bill.
Wrong camera.
Okay. Yeah. Wrong
Wrong
camera still?
camera.
Damn it. There we go.
See, it's a duck.
It's a duck. Okay, you're
we
right.
need a cow.
It's a duck. Do you know why they were called a church key?
I don't
I know.
remember.
Somebody Google that. Throw that up.
Yeah.
JB Weld, why were these called church keys back in the day?
Have the
Or
cow,
yesterday?
the cow booty be the opener with the tail.
And they also brought me beer from Wisconsin, which is from the
Spotted
Cow Brewery. And this is you brought me up totally naked.
I just grabbed one. They brought a variety pack and the original spotted cow.
Gotcha.
That's just what I grabbed.
Cool. Perfect.
Thank you, Tiny.
Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, let's take questions. It kept us out of church. If you, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them up now. I'm sure you don't mind hanging out for a little bit and answering some questions.
No problem.
I'm sure some people have some questions. So what do you do? You're not retired, obviously. So
No.
you live right down the road, and you have a business of your own.
Yep,
What do you do?
have a dirt construction, we haul rock, put in septics, water lines, level pads, a little bit of everything.
It's like a I always thought it was funny. It's a landscaping
Yeah,
business.
well,
I don't think I've ever seen you do any landscaping that doesn't have to do with rock.
Right.
Hydroseed in our yard.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
you did hydroseed in our yard.
I started out with just a skid steer, and that's why we call it landscape assistance. But and we did a little bit of landscaping, but then we just grew, and they needed a truck, and needed a scraper, and needed a blade, and so that's where we're at. So,
Right.
Yep.
We anytime we need a backhoe, the mini. You still have those big scrapers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big scrape. When we built that big cow shed in the back here,
Yep.
You did all the dirt work for that. That might have been before the corrals, because Gilbert was still alive when we built that.
Right.
Yeah, so that was before the
Yeah, it was
corrals.
before that, yeah.
And that was moving a whole bunch of dirt and leveling that up out there, and
You've moved a lot of dirt around here.
yeah, you dug Rita's basement.
Right.
And that's a lot of dirt. That was a lot of
Fixed a
dirt.
lot of hydrants.
Yep,
Yep. A lot of hydrants.
moved a lot of stuff around.
Buried
So
some cows for us.
Yep. A few of those.
Did you bury the bull that Gilbert poked?
You know, I
no, Jason did that. Jason
That's
worked
right.
for you at that time.
That's
Jason
right.
came up and dug. We had a bull that died, just dropped dead, and I don't know.
Oh, there's Chef Tiny.
Oh, there he is, Chef Tiny. We had, their thing is rubber ducks. Okay, it was a long night of drinking. Yeah, I can only imagine. We had a bull that died in the bull pasture. In fact, I went and scooped it out. I went and picked it up with the forks, right? And I'm carrying it out. And one of our neighbors drove by and they called me and they're like, "Oh my, that's a crazy way to move bulls. How do you get that thing to just lay there for you?" And brought it out, set it outside. Gilbert didn't want me to do anything, so Gilbert went and poked it with a stick for a few days.
Sat behind the house across the road for a few days. He'd poke it.
Yeah.
Gilbert, it's dead.
Yeah, he'd poke it in the eye, right in the eye. He'd like, it's dead. 'Cause that's how they used to. I guess that's how they used to check to make sure something was dead. Was they would poke it in the
poke
eye.
it. Yeah. Sure.
And eventually we called Gary and we were like, "Hey, somebody needs to come up and bury this thing." And Gary does have a very nice service. And I don't know how you fell into this, but anytime anybody has an animal that dies, you have like a graveside service where you basically bring up your backhoe and you don't charge them for it.
I don't charge.
You never
them.
charged us for it anyway.
No, I don't charge anybody for if they've lost an animal. Yep.
It's
What
very
about like
funny.
a mother-in-law or something?
I haven't done that yet, but yeah.
We won't say anything for now. But yeah, it's a cool thing because we have ran into that situation where it's like, hey, something up here is smelly. And
Yeah.
we need to get it buried. So
Sure.
sometimes though you have to deal with Gary and you're like, "Hey, can you come bury something?" And he's like, "The backhoe is 38 miles away down a dirt road somewhere, and it might be back next Thursday."
Susan always jokes that if something happens to Gary, she has literally no idea where all the equipment is at. She just hopes that people have good faith and they bring it back.
Yeah,
Bring it back,
I mean, we have
yeah.
stuff sitting around here. The box blade is still yours.
Yep.
That's been sitting over here for
Did you get
years.
Did you get your bucket from across the road? Your mini?
I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was quite a while ago.
That was in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sat over there for a
But
while.
I did forget about it.
Your red truck sat down by my apple trees for at least a month.
Probably. Yeah, I do remember that too.
All the time I was like, should we take Gary's truck? Oh, he'll come get it if he needs it.
Yeah, he knows where it is. We hope. I mean, he drives by occasionally and goes, "Okay, there's
There it is.
there's what I need." Yeah. Is the hip replacement a cover up? I think they're talking about your mom. Kyle asked, the knee replacement.
Cover up for what?
I don't know. What could it be?
I don't know. Did Gary bury her?
It's all a cover up. It's all a sham. This isn't even a real studio. This is like a fake wall behind us, and all the cows are cardboard
It would be
cutouts.
funny if you poked it and it
It fell over.
fell down.
And we're like sitting in a brothel or a bar or something. I don't know what we'd be doing. All the cows are cardboard cutouts, and we had some hunters show up one year that had a cow decoy. You ever
Yeah.
seen one of those? It's like a piece of fabric, that you just kind of hold in front of you, and it's like the shape of a cow.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that the antelope don't
Yeah,
see you coming.
yeah.
So they took it out one day, and I said, I don't know how well that's going to work, guys. And, oh, no, it'd be cool. We want to try and see if it works. So they were out there, and a big old wind gust came up, and that cow was flying. And that I wish I would have had on camera.
Which hunter was it?
I think it was somebody from Iowa, if I remember right. That they were the ones that had the carpeted pickup bed. Showed up in their pickup bed. Really nice Ford F-150,
Oh, yeah.
brand new. And the pickup bed was carpeted.
Carpeted,
and I was like,
yeah.
why would
I've
you have
seen
carpet
those.
in your pickup bed? And they said, well, we haul our golf clubs to the golf course in the back. So
Yeah.
I said, well, the deer is going to bleed all over that.
Sure.
But I guess maybe they strapped it to the hood. I don't know.
The antelope, not deer.
They're antelope. Yeah, exactly. So.
Didn't you tell them something like here in Wyoming we use hardwood?
Yeah, I did. I messed with them. I was like, in Wyoming we put hardwood in our beds. And they said, well, that makes sense because, you know, you're hauling around a lot of stuff. So,
This went right over their heads.
yeah, hopefully they're not watching. If not, love you guys. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Mike and Erin actually live in Hawaii and use a few thousand hours of stock footage. Spotted in Honolulu drinking daiquiris on the beach. Heck yeah, I'd go for that right about now.
It's gonna snow on Monday.
You think it's going to snow on Monday?
The forecast
We
says
should
snow.
start a poll and see if is there snow in the forecast?
Yeah, there's snow in the forecast.
Are you going to really look at the forecast right
Yeah,
now?
Look at the forecast. I'm talking about the forecast. Tuesday.
Snow?
Snow. Yeah.
Snow on Tuesday.
Is it gonna snow?
We should have a pool to see if it's going to snow on Tuesday. The weatherman is always wrong. Tiny, I'm going to try out your little thing here.
How much snow
You
qualifies?
should have brought up two of these because now, well, I don't know if this is plant based. Well, yeah, it is.
Oh, sure.
Gotta be.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gotta be.
There you go, sir.
Try her out.
Oh, look at that.
Look
This
at
is
that.
recycling here.
There you go.
Yeah, look at that.
What are you doing with the pole? What pole? Oh, what are you gonna do with the pole? Oh, like the snow. You spelled it wrong. P-O-L-L is a.
Oh, yeah.
P-O-L-E.
We could basically have a poll to see if it's going to snow on Tuesday or whatever.
It's more
but-
like a pool, isn't it?
Kind of a
like
pool.
a baby pool.
Yeah, something like
Isn't that
that.
what that's called when you guess?
I did have somebody tell me that we should do ranch roundup in different seasons here on the ranch. And I was like, nobody's going to want to come in winter. I was like, it's all freezing, so. But it's going to happen. It's going to snow here eventually.
It says half an inch of snow on Tuesday, so.
That's it? That'll be gone in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the ground's warm. so.
Yeah, that won't
It is
last
gonna
at all.
freeze though. A pool implies a prize. Yeah, so what's the prize?
I don't know. You guys put me right up against the wall. You know, speaking of which, I had a video that came out on Tuesday where I went into town to get that idle solenoid for that welder.
Right.
And I thought for sure American Welding and Gas would have one. You know, they're a Miller dealer, everything else. They didn't have them, so they had to order it. Takes a week to get here. I caught so much crap about not calling before I went to town. And people were like, you wasted time, you wasted fuel. You know, why did you buy? How many times have you went to town and turned around and come home empty-handed?
Quite a few.
It happens like every day almost to me.
absolutely.
Like it's one of those things. And we're not way out in the boonies either, you know. And somebody they really jumped down my throat and said, I can't believe that you wasted your time. You drove to town. You should have called. You could have ordered it online or whatever. And I said, well, maybe the kids needed milk. Like, I mean,
You did. No, I guess you didn't pick up the kids because you came back home and.
no, but I did honestly. When I went to town and I checked on that solenoid, they didn't have it. I did swing by Co-op and got some welding rod and stuff like that I needed anyway. So it wasn't like a total waste. And I can't film 100% of the time what I'm doing. People start to look at you weird when you walk into stores
Not
with
everything
cameras.
Not everything makes it into the video. I mean,
Right.
Some of it's just kind of boring.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, when we started the YouTube thing, did you and Susan have any opinion on what we were doing, or were you just like those crazy kids? Oh, just a bunch of wackadoos over there.
No, we thought it was pretty neat, you know. Yeah, we got some neighbors that are on. They've got their YouTube channel, and
It's awfully weird.
but you guys are just naturals at it.
I don't know.
I don't know. You watch those first few ones; they're kind of awkward.
The first one with Erin when you were sitting in the basement
Yeah. We didn't know how to, like, mic us up.
No,
Like, audio was bad. I mean, like.
It was all just kind of, thrown together. And
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't know. And as with any YouTube channel, like, you learn. So, we should get rid of those old ones.
we should just get rid of them, redo them, remake them. This isn't bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mine's called Totally Naked, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's what happens when you drink about 5 or 6 of them.
5 or 6? Ooh, you're a cheap drunk.
I am a cheap drink.
Of course, you guys were naturals because you both worked at radio station, right?
Yeah, but I just sold advertising.
Yeah, but she was always there.
I mean, I just, like, conned people into spending money
Okay.
that I would maybe deliver some results.
Okay.
Not really any way to
measurable.
measure it all, so yeah.
Have you been busy? No. Well, I don't know.
It must be your fault.
Well, let's try running some more ads.
When in doubt, try again. So I always feel bad whenever I do call you, and I'm sure this will happen probably in the next couple days, because I always feel bad, because when your phone rings, do you ever look at your phone and you're just like, ah, crap. I should just let this go to. I mean, you answer, so obviously you don't let it go to voicemail,
No.
and you call me back if you do miss a call.
Sure.
So you are kind of a glutton for punishment, but it is very much like I feel weird, and I deal with this with Nick too. Is like I offer help to you guys all the time. You have employees and that kind of thing. So really, and Nick does too. And Nick's an electrician, so I can't be like, hey, I'll come help you wire up that house, or
You have help, Nick, on occasion, though.
Yeah, but usually it's just like labor,
You run, like a shovel.
Yeah.
But
But
you know, watch Nick dig a hole.
right, and I help him fill it in or whatever. But I mean, that's kind of the funny from my side of things is I always do kind of feel bad because I feel like I'm calling Gary up. In fact, I called you a few days ago and I said, hey, you wouldn't happen to have a cherry picker so we can get the engine out of the gator, because otherwise this is going to be a giant pain in the butt. We're going to have the 2x4 with one guy on each side lifting it in and
Do you
out.
have a tractor bucket? Come on.
Oh, see, you make things too easy. You gotta go down, you gotta take a tractor down to Gary's, load up the cherry picker, bring it up here, and probably break on the way here. So then I'll have to go to town and get welding rod, come back and fix it.
Use
And
the
hope,
tractor bucket to lift the engine.
that's just way too easy.
No, you just want fancy toys, that's all.
Gary-
Gary has a lot of
Honestly,
stuff.
when was the last time the cherry picker was used for anything?
Actually, we did use it
Oh,
here a
damn
while
it.
back. Yeah.
Damn it, see,
Yeah.
ruined I was gonna say, it's been sitting in the corner collecting dust. It would probably be nice it would probably feel good if it actually got used for something, but of course.
That's
Yeah.
why we hydroseeded,
Yeah.
so we can use
There
the
you go.
hydroseeder.
Yeah. Well, the cherry picker works good because when you're pulling the engine out, with a loader, you could probably pull it up too fast and break something.
See, look at that.
Well, I'm not saying that it wouldn't work. I'm just saying that if you didn't have Gary as a friend, you would have to use what you have.
Very true.
See, that's why I got all this stuff, because I could try to justify it, to Susan. But
His wife, she still cringes every time there's an auction in the paper or something like that.
Probably.
You haven't been doing the auction thing very often. have you?
no, I haven't. Not
I've
like
kind of been laying off that, but
Yeah.
it used to be, Gary would call me and be like, hey, I got a new trailer. And it's like, why'd you get a new trailer? I don't know, because there was an empty spot over there and I needed something to park in it. I don't know. Is there a thought for retirement? Have you and Susan been talking about this at all? Or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for years, probably.
for years. But this year, I think we're gonna, especially after the heart attack, I think we're definitely gonna slow down.
Is
so.
Susan gonna retire?
No.
Last time I asked Susan, she looked at me like I was crazy. She was
It's like retire. What's
No.
that?
She wants to work a couple more years yet. So
That's
But
really
you are
cool.
gonna slow down.
I am gonna slow down. I'm gonna continue to do the Rothenbuehler stuff. But
That was the other thing I wanted to talk about really quick was you just like every other rancher, farmer, heavy equipment operator, guy that's in business for himself around here, you have a side hustle as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
And when you came to Gillette, you ended up working at the mine as a blaster. So you were the guy what exactly was your job at the mine when you were working there?
well, I started out as a heavy equipment operator, and then worked my way through into the blasting department. Started out drilling, and then worked my way up, and ended up to be drilling and blasting supervisor. I've done that for the last probably 10 years. Yeah, so I worked my way through that, and then retired as a blaster. And then there's some of the equipment we use to set our shots off with. The company asked me if I wanted to go to work for them, and I said, yeah, it'd be a good part-time job. And so and been working for them for 14 years.
Nice.
So we,
And what's the name of the company?
Rothenbuehler Engineering, and they're out of Cedar Woolley, Washington.
Cedar Woolley?
Cedar Woolley, just north of Seattle.
Okay. And they,
Yeah.
and they basically, they make the remote control button that you push
Right.
that makes things go boom.
Yep.
So it's not, it's the modern version of the
Yes.
plunger.
Yeah, only
Did you ever actually get to use one of the plungers?
I have not.
Okay, that was before
That was
your time.
before my time.
Okay, I just wondered. I think it'd be cool
Yeah.
to find one of those. If
Yeah.
anybody's got one of those, let me know. I'll buy it from you and I'll give it to Gary as a gift, because that would be awesome to have one of those. Just have
Yeah.
it sitting around somewhere and be like,
Don't push that.
don't touch this. And then see how many people do touch. Actually, if you put a sign on it that said, don't touch it, Mackenzie would walk in and go, what's this do? Bam, you know. So,
Mackenzie tried to hang a sign in her room yesterday that said, do not touch.
do not touch.
You guys are making crystals, these crystal making kits, so Grace accidentally broke one yesterday. So Mackenzie came down from the attic with a piece of paper and I need some tape, and she was digging for a mark. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I'm like, what? I just need to tape something. What are you taping? Well, I just want to tape a sign that says do not touch.
That's funny.
That is a good one.
So with working for the, I can't remember the name of the company. Tell me the name of the company again.
Rothenbuehler Engineering.
Rothenbuehler. I need to write that down. I never remember that. With them though, you've got to do some pretty cool stuff. Even now, there was you told me a story about. Was it blowing up a stadium or something like that?
Yeah, we were invited to come down to the implosion of the Texas Stadium. This has probably been, I think, almost 10 years ago already. They needed to have a remote firing device because there were 2 freeways on one side and one on the other, and they needed some type of remote firing device. So we went down there and we trained. Kraft Macaronis and Cheese had donated 1.3 million or something like that for the demolition of this, and so they had a essay contest, and a little 12-year-old boy from down in Dallas won it, and so we trained him to push the buttons. And
Is it just one button, or is there multiple buttons you have to push?
it's two of them actually.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's not an accidental.
Yeah, accidental, right?
It's not like, this guy inserts his key and this guy inserts his key and you turn left at the same time.
Yeah,
kind of
no,
thing.
they both have to push 2 of them. You can't rush it, otherwise he might set it off.
I can see where that would be a
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
So yeah, he pushed them just right. And
So
everything
you were
went down.
standing there with him when he got
Yes.
to push the
Yeah.
button?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. And then you also got to work on the Crazy Horse Monument.
Yeah, we
in South
used to
Dakota.
go up and help the crew with, you bring our units over there, and they had a what they call a night blast, and usually it was one was in June, which would be Ruth Korshoff's wife. That was her birthday, so they would always have a night blast for that, and if they had anything special, they needed our remotes to fire it off, and we'd take it over there and help them out there. So
That's really cool.
since then they've got their own now, so
They don't need you anymore.
they don't need me anymore. So.
You go watch.
Do you ever get to go help over at Crazy Horse anymore?
No. Other than they're just good friends of ours. Yeah, the Blasters. We've known them for years, and yeah, we've got good relationship with all the Blasters up in there.
That's really cool that you can take a job, after being a blaster to mine, and then go do things that you probably never would have thought you would. I mean, you tell me stories now about going and didn't you go out to Washington to an Army training thing? This was a couple of years ago. You went out and did
Yeah, we've been out there a few times. They call it Ravens Challenge. It's Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine EOD, and then also bomb squads from Canada, Mexico, just all up the West Coast.
That's really cool that you can retire from one job and then kind of keep on doing that same job and
Yeah.
get to travel and go to Korea.
Yeah,
That was
went to
last
Korea.
year, wasn't it?
No,
Last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, you were in Korea for that, and
Yep.
yeah, I think it's really cool that you can keep on doing, something that obviously you did for years with the mine, so you
Yeah.
enjoyed it there, and
Yeah.
now you work with SWAT teams and
Yeah,
Army units,
bomb
and
squads, yeah.
bomb squads and training and stuff like that. So if you happen to have need for a remote firing device, let
I mean,
us
you
know,
can't
send
just
us an
buy
email.
one of those. Like, that's not an Amazon purchase.
No, but I was going to talk to you about, we are coming up on the time that we have to blow up the hat here before too long. And we're trying to come up, last year, I don't know if you remember, but last year we used tannerite to blow up
Yeah.
my summer hat.
Right.
And we thought that tannerite would like have some flame to it, but it didn't. So what we did, we actually took a pumpkin, filled it with gas, and then set it on like 3 pounds of tannerite, and then put my hat on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, the tannerite is flameless. There's no flame there, so the gas
Yeah.
light just sprayed all over the place. This year we're looking for something with a little bit more flash. So if you happen to have a few sticks of dynamite laying around or
Yeah.
anything, just let me know. We'll talk about it later. So anyway, we're up on an hour. Are you you want to take some more questions? Do you want
Yeah,
to?
we do.
Okay, let's take a few more questions. If anybody has any questions, see, Garrett said, send that hat sky high with Gary's help. Maybe we could talk to your boss about sponsoring blowing up the
Blowing
hat.
up the hat, yeah.
And then maybe we could take it out to the mine, put it on a, what? This could, they won't let you stand next
You
to it,
can't even take a
obviously.
picture out at the coal mine. They're not going to let you blow up a hat.
I've seen lots of pictures taken at the coal mine,
You're not
trust me. You're not
supposed to
supposed to, you're not supposed to take pictures of it.
Right.
I've seen a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be fun to do something. I thought about a flamethrower, but I really don't know how to build a flamethrower. Erin's got a torch that she uses in the garden, but that's kind of anticlimactic. I need the help of like a bomb squad or somebody.
Yeah.
You gotta make some phone calls, man. Frank asked where we can get a taxidermy jackalope. I think ours actually came from the world of Amazon, so everything's on Amazon, folks.
You're literally from Amazon.
Did it?
Yeah.
I know that.
More expensive than you would think a dead animal would cost.
Yeah, you can hit them on the highway here all day long and just go pick one up. But I think that Cabela's also used to have them, if I remember right. Can't remember.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. So, do a green disposal of the hat and bury it in a manure pile as satire to the vegans. That took a lot of thinking. I don't know. That hurts my brain. Just compost it. It's kind of composted already, so not this one.
Too bad.
This is my nice one. But I'm surprised you didn't wear your cowboy hat.
Well,
today.
I thought about it, but
Did
then
you?
I thought, yeah, better not.
All right, what else we got here, folks? You know how hard it is to find a jackalope in the wild?
Really
It is.
hard.
Very difficult. You ever seen one?
I have not.
No. It's
They'll
almost
lose it.
impossible. Somebody asked how the rabbits are. They're good. They're, what?
I'm gonna blame the internet for the rabbits.
You're going to blame the internet?
So
How can you
before-
blame the internet for anything?
Before the rabbit video, the rabbits would dig these little tiny holes in the yard, and we'd move the thing, and it was no big deal, right? They just dig a little tiny hole. They dug a crater inside. They have not escaped, but
They're working on it. They're
so
like Hogan's.
big.
They're Hogan's heroes. They're working their way
So
out.
big that Grace came in today.
Remember that show, Hogan's Heroes?
Oh, yeah.
Twizzler went in the ground and disappeared. It's a crater. And the reason I blame the internet is because until that video came out, like, they just dug these little holes, and then everybody was like, they're gonna dig out. And I was like, they're fine. They just dig little tiny holes.
So the internet gave them the idea.
Yes.
They're too close to the house. They have Wi-Fi. We need to move them out farther where they don't have any service, because that's the problem. Damn things. If you've got a paper shredder, just shred the hat. Oh, there's so many
I
ideas.
don't even have a paper shredder.
Yeah, I don't think a hat would go through a paper shredder, probably.
I don't have a paper shredder.
Oh, I got to come up with something. If you have any ideas for how to dispose of the hat, it's actually going to be coming up here before too long. Last year, we did it the first week of October. This year, we'll probably do it about the same time. I think the hunters want to be involved in it, so.
I think you did it with the hunters last year, too.
I did, yeah. They shot the tannerite that didn't do anything. I mean, it did it. It blew the hat about 50 feet in the air, and it blew a hole in it and everything else. And then I just got a smelly gasoline flavored hat.
And
So,
so the Fire Star.
yeah.
Not on the Pete Dog, on the Scarecrow.
Is it in there?
Yeah, it's on the Scarecrow.
Really?
Yeah.
We should advertise that. Yeah, it's still in there.
Oh.
We had people that wanted it, which I thought was funny. They're like, send me the hat. I was like, I can't send this thing through the mail. It smells like a gas station.
Well, that dissipates.
Eventually, yeah. Strap it to a firework and launch that puppy. That's not a bad idea.
I don't have any big fireworks left.
We could build one.
Build a firework.
Why not? Throw the hat in a wood chipper. That's kind of anticlimactic. Unless you like put like
Again, we don't have trees. We don't have a wood chipper.
Do you have a wood chipper? If anybody has a wood chipper.
I do.
Do you really?
I do.
You have a wood chipper? See?
I have it and I've never used it.
It's a fun game to play with Gary. Do you have this?
Yeah. What do you have down there, really? And then he has to think about it occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah, I do.
Like, wait a minute, do I have one of those? And then he'll call me and he'll say, hey, do you know where I put the mini? that's, I can't remember what it was. You called me about something not too long ago, and you were like, do you happen to know where I parked that thing? And I was like, I really don't have any idea where it's at. In fact, but you know what's funny is I have a bucket. It's either for a backhoe or for a mini down by the.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know whose that is.
It's Gary Gilbert.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Gary Gilbert, if you're watching, come get the bucket.
It's hard now. It's been here for 2 years.
I know it's probably rusted down to the ground.
It doesn't fit anything we have, but how does that happen? How do you leave stuff all over the place?
Well, you know,
If Gary brought
I don't have any
everything
room
home, you
anymore.
wouldn't have any room.
I don't have any room anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it is fun to play that game. You see, there's more. If you happen to be out here for Ranch Roundup, you drove right by Gary's place, and you probably looked over and said, "Oh my gosh, that guy has a lot of stuff." And he does a lot of stuff. So, put it on a tumbleweed, see where it ends up. Have a clay pigeon contest. Launch the hat from a clay pigeon thrower. First lucky shooter gets a gift from the farm store.
There's no gifts.
Funny story about clay pigeon shooting. Nick, at one point, a friend of ours, he's an electrician down the road. He called me up and he said, "Hey, I would like to do like an employee appreciation thing. Can I bring out a bunch of our guys and we'll do some clay pigeon shooting on the ranch?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, that sounds like fun. I'll come down and hang out with you guys." And of course, they've got some beers and everything else with them. One guy that was with him never fired a shotgun before in his life. And they're launching clay pigeons out, and he's swinging that shotgun. So at one point, I swear to God, they launched a clay pigeon, and this kid goes like this, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And then just scared the crap out of me. So that's the clay pigeons are kind of a little spooky. You used to shoot clay pigeons.
Oh yeah,
didn't you?
yeah, I used to. Yeah.
I mean, just maybe not with like a movie.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have a weird thing about letting people wander around with guns on the place after that. So
Literally hunting season in 5 days.
it is, isn't it? Place the bag in a place the hat in a trash bag, inflate it with oxyacetylene, light from a distance. I've seen that done, actually. I've seen balloons.
Just send Nick in with a stick with a lighter on the end.
Yeah. Make sure you don't have any eyebrows to start. So, all right, guys, we're gonna hang it up for tonight. If you do have any, damn cat. If you have any more ideas for how to get rid of the hat, feel free to email them to us. You can email those at mail@ourwyominglife.com. Thank you, Gary, for coming and hanging out with us tonight.
You bet.
We really do appreciate it. We've had a lot of people that are like, "Is Gary a real person?" Obviously, we've seen him in the background. We've seen him in different videos. Usually, you're walking by. You're not saying much usually.
Usually.
So they're like, "Who is that guy?" And that, is it just you in a costume? Kind of thing. It might have been. I don't know. But we appreciate you coming on and
again,
the flag.
thanks for all the cards. It's great.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I honestly
awesome.
expected like 3. So the funny part is, like, I talked about it, and then I think like a week later I had like 2 cards, and I was like, "Oh, well, that really didn't work." And then they started coming in, and then they were just flowing, and then like every day it was more and more cards. So yeah, Gary will have fun going through those and reading all your guys' wishes.
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
Get wells and all that kind of good stuff, and people telling you to take it easy, which I know that you'll do. So other than that, I think we're pretty much done for the night. We have a new video coming out on Sunday. Be sure to check that out. Head on over to the website. We're revamping the website. You can go take a look at that. Some new merchandise up there for sale. Beef jerky will be out very soon.
More merchandise coming, beef jerky coming.
Mm-hmm. All kinds of good stuff. So check that all out. And if you could do me a favor, if you're here, head on over to Facebook. Go to a group called All Things Agriculture. Sign up for that group. One of our moderators, Matt Fensel, actually is the main guy behind that group and kind of takes care of it and stuff for us. And we are trying to hit 2,000 members by the end of the year in that Facebook group. So take a look at that. It's made up of different farmers and ranchers, and they ask each other's questions, and it's kind of a cool place to hang out. And if you're interested in agriculture.
You don't have to be a
Oh, even if you like to draw pictures of cows. Draw pictures of cows, put them up there. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So that's it. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you to our moderators, Zach Hewitt, Lori Habel's here with us tonight. Matt Fensel, of course, Bill the Tractor Man. Saw William Dunn floating around a little bit earlier. He probably went and took a nap somewhere. So
Tammy was here too. She's not a moderator, but Tammy was here too.
Tammy was here too. Last week, William fell asleep halfway through the live stream. So
How old are you, William?
he's. You remember William from? There he is. He's still awake. He was here during the Ranch Roundup. Kid that came up from Cheyenne.
Oh yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
really great kid.
Yeah.
But apparently has the heart and soul of a 90-year-old. So have a great night. We will see. What?
The other day, I hurt my back throwing up. You had the stomach bug.
I did have a little bit of the stomach bug. That was fun. You heard a rib coughing. So.
Hush it, stop.
And we're sitting here and we're complaining about this stuff next to this guy who had a heart attack a
know.
month ago, and he's just like, you dang kids. So, just bad news, bad karma. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you next time. Until then, what?
Tammy Fensel was here too.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, and another thing too. Tomorrow is Matt Fensel's 55th birthday, so be sure to wish him a happy birthday, as he's one of our moderators here hanging out with us. So,
Did you ask him if you could do that?
no, Matt, is it okay if I tell everybody it's your birthday tomorrow? Say he's fine with it. He's cool with it. All right.
Matt.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you next time on Our Wyoming Life.